Welcome to Simply Sheppey, your community podcast which aims to create and enhance connections within the community to build a better Sheppey.
Hello and welcome to this week's Simply Sheppey podcast. I am joined here today by Ester Marsh from Sheppey Employment Forum. Hi Esther, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Yes, glad to be here, thank you.
Lovely. And this week we have Esther with us because she is here to promote the Sheppey Employment Forum, and we also have an event next week which she's hosting at the Dockyard Church as part of the Sheppey Business Network. So we're just going to have a bit of a chat with Esther, find out a little bit more about her, what Sheppey Employment Forum is, and how the community can help support that. Esther, let's dive straight in. Tell me a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Right, well, I grew up on Sheppey. I went to school on Sheppey. For people that remember the comp, I went to the comp. I've got 3 sons, so one's just graduated with a first in architecture, woohoo.
Fantastic.
And been through the Sheppey school system, I might say as well. My middle son's doing an apprenticeship and absolutely loving that, and my youngest son's heading into his GCSEs. My day job is as a compliance officer at a school, which essentially means that I do things like health and safety, fire safety, all that good exciting stuff.
Yeah, okay, so you've got 3 sons there, so been through the Sheppey education system. Doesn't always have the best reputation, does it?
No, sadly,
with kids going off the island on buses and things like that. But I've seen, I've got 2 children, neither of them are on Sheppey, but from what I've seen and recently, it appears as though there's been some quite positive changes on the island with the changes in the secondary schools and a number of the primary schools with outstanding ratings. So it feels as though there's something brewing, something in the water, a bit positivity out there.
I think that's true generally of Sheppey, and I think it's been my heart for a long time that especially somewhere like Sheppey that hasn't had the best reputation, when we're able to say, look, it is possible and it's happened here, the schools are being transformed, the aspirations of our young people are being transformed, people are speaking positively about Sheppey, then if we can do it, anybody can. And that's really my heart.
Yeah, I think there's a real sort of, it's a growth mindset, isn't it, there? Yeah. It's kind of positivity. You look at it and everyone says, oh yeah, there's always a bit of a stigma maybe with Sheppey and areas of Swale as well, and even the wider Medway towns. But I think with Sheppey, like you say, there's a bit happening. There's it feels as though there's things going on. The schools have improved. Yeah. The college is expanding in the town. Obviously we've got the Dockyard Church, which is wonderful. where we're going for our event next week, but. Yeah, there seems to be like something brewing, and I'm like yourself. I'm not a native from Sheppey. I moved down to Kent about 10 years ago, right. But it's always been my home when I've been down in Kent, and it kind of like now I feel as though I've worked here. I used to manage the bank at Sheerness High Street, so I kind of part of the community as soon as I did that. But it feels as though there's a lot going on and a lot of positivity, and it's good to see people getting behind it. So what's the motivation for you to sort of do it locally? What's the
I think having grown up on Sheppey, and I used to do some volunteering as in the maths class, because I'm one of those people that loves maths at the school, and just working with some of those young people, and I think they don't always fit the kind of the usual academic route, but we've got some really smart kids, haven't we? Yeah. And the other thing I get really fed up about is people moaning about the island and not doing something positive about it. So as I always say when I host any meetings or when I speak, that the way I play it is that we talk positively. We start with good news stories, for example, like that, and so we should be spreading those good news stories, and we should be doing something positive, not about talking about it. It's about getting on and getting stuff done. And I've got an amazing steering group with the Sheppey Employment Forum. They're all get stuff done people, which is such a treat to work with. So
yeah, it makes a massive difference, doesn't it? Someone who runs my own business, and I know some of the other members of the Sheppey Business Network. It's like that get stuff done approach really helps, definitely. And sometimes that can be a barrier. Sometimes in sort of like the community and voluntary sector, can't it? You can hit brick walls with that in terms of people are only part-time, or you need a certain sign-off from someone.
Yeah.
So it's good if you have that, and there's that mentality around it. It really does need supporting in that way. And I think, you know, living on Sheppey myself, I'm like, I try and see the positives. I'm like, you know, look at it. There's stuff going on. You've got investment coming into the town.
Yes.
You know, you've got, you know, there is real opportunities there for the kids. And it's like, you know, everyone's like, oh, well, so-and-so closed, or the steel mill closed years ago, or this closed in Queenborough and things like that. And you go, yeah, I understand that. But then there are really positive things going on as well. You know, there are employment opportunities out there. You know, Peelports is a massive employer in the town, and things like that. And I just think it is that positive mentality. It's get behind it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you get, like you say, if you get more people thinking like that, as soon as you start spreading that, I'm going to be like really, you know, use my hands here. But as soon as you start spreading that, it's you know, it's contagious, isn't it? It actually, people really jump on it and really want to make something of it. So let's fly that Sheppey flag and keep things positive. So I'm really good to sort of, you know, hear about your background, and that you're local and want to get stuck in and help people locally. That's great. So let's move on now to like the Sheppey Employment Forum. So do you want to just give us a little bit more of a understanding of what that is, and what its mission is, and who you're looking to help in the community locally?
Okay. Yeah, Sheppey Employment Forum, we sit underneath the Island Forum. It was one of the objectives around improving employment opportunities for young people. So our mission is to improve the aspirations and employment opportunities of young people on Sheppey. And one thing that's often struck me about our young people is, even down to their kind of their physical stance, quite often it's heads down, isn't it, rather than heads up. And I want them to have that aspiration. I want the young people to believe that they can do really good stuff and amazing stuff. And there's a little trail for our event in the new year, which is No Excuses. Right. So watch this space, but that's where we've got 5 I'm going to call them Sheppey superstars, people who've born and bred on Sheppey and have made it in an amazing way for various things, you know, life challenges or you know, running their own business or whatever. So anyway, but more about that later. But so part of our mission is to help get young people into employment. And when we did the 10-10 event last year, I was just amazed by the feedback from the college. And one of the comments was that some of our young people haven't even spoken to an employer, and that kind of stopped me in my tracks a bit, in the sense of just to sort of have a speed networking event where young people could have a conversation with an employer. For some of them, it was a massive step, and so I think if we can help facilitate that for young people, you know, hopefully they'll end up with a job out of it. But it might just be, I've practiced my interview skills. It might be, I didn't realise you could do an apprenticeship with so and so, and to give them opportunity, give them exposure. And we don't just kind of throw them in. We have, again, local volunteers who are mentors just for that afternoon. Yeah. So they'll go around with the young people and encourage them, say, what do you want to get out of this? Come on, let's go and talk to, say, the prison or guys, or talk to the Peelports representatives. So the young people will get the opportunity to have a chat with different employers. That's the 2020 event in November.
Okay, that's just interesting. I just made a note there. There's a few things there which have hit home with me, and I think you are right. I think it's that going back to maybe how the young people in the area do carry themselves, and like you say, maybe it is that sort of hunched over, that hoods up mentality, because there isn't sort of maybe the opportunities out there that there are sort of further afield, you know, whether that is like Maidstone, Medway towns, or for, you know, Canterbury, places like that. I don't know, but I think what really shocks me there is what you sort of said around like the feedback from the college on your previous event. That's crazy to think that, you know, there's no provision for sort of like basic interview skills or basic sort of links to, you know, skills applying for jobs. And I'm guessing that's like maybe talking to businesses or business owners, or maybe even sort of like interview skills, that kind of thing. Is that sort of the feedback that you had? Yeah,
I think I don't know the details of what the college does, but I think it's a conversation we have had with the college that we're going to look again. Part of the programme next year will be to do more, because we have these links with local employers, to give opportunities for young people to have sort of practice doing interviews as well. Because those of us that are kind of older down the track, interviews are, well, they're not easy, but they're something we're more familiar with, isn't it? But then for young people to, this is their opportunity to present themselves and to go for that job. And if that's a scary experience, we need to help get them some practice before they go into the real thing.
Exactly.
So
and get some local businesses involved to help support that. Yeah, definitely. Yes. I think it's tough, isn't it? Because I see even sort of in the industry I work in financial services, there's so many younger people getting knocked back because of no experience, and that's just one industry, and I'm sure that's widespread. You'll know better than me with your background, but that's just one industry, and it's kind of like the challenge there is, well, okay, someone needs to take a risk at some point. Yeah. Someone needs to give someone a chance. Someone needs to maybe take a bit of a gamble on someone and actually give them the opportunity to grow and learn a role, get the experience on the job, because a lot of it's about sort of mentality, isn't it? It's this attitude, and if you've got the right ethos, the right attitude and work hard ethic, and you're up for a challenge, then you can solve most problems, maybe with a bit of help from someone, but that's kind of it, isn't it? Yeah, it's
attitude definitely, I think, is I'm hearing that more and more from employers, that there's a lot of things they can teach, isn't there? But if young people come in with the right attitude, you made me think back to my kind of when I started out in my career. I contacted Abbott Laboratories, so for people that remember Abbott Laboratories back in the day at Queenborough, contacted them and said, just graduated in environmental field, any chance I can come in and have a chat with you about what you do in terms of environmental protection at the site. And anyway, to cut a long story short, I ended up getting a job there. So it's that initial introduction.
It is, that foot in the door, isn't it, kind of approach. But I suppose it's going back to the Sheppey Employment Forum, that's maybe giving youngsters the confidence to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, and helping build those skills, and maybe even have the links to some local businesses to be able to do that, and open those doors for them to the opportunities. No, that sounds great. And I mean, in terms of the Sheppey Employment Forum, just a little bit of background on it. How long has it been set up? And
we've been going a couple of years. I think really in the last year we've really kind of found our place and our mission, and in terms of the steering group as well, we've found the right people. Credit to the team as well. We've got a whole mixture from sort of local government to DWP, people that run their own businesses, but everyone brings such a good mix of skills to the table. And so that sort of in the last year really, and what we've done as well is we've put the long term, we've done a 2-year plan, and we put some key diary markers in there. I mean, we're all kind of got other day jobs, so it's kind of it is busy. However, I think that helps to focus people as well, doesn't it? When you're too busy to faff around, you do focus and get on with stuff
definitely
efficiently.
Get things done. So this is something which is completely done voluntarily in spare time by all the sort of the steering team.
Yes,
fantastic. That's brilliant.
It's usually random times of the day and night when emails come through.
Sort of flying through. But no, that's great. It's great that you've got, I suppose, so many people engaged from within the local community to actually support it.
Yeah.
And like you say, if everyone's pulling together, it can only be good, and the more it grows, the more awareness hopefully we can raise, obviously, by supporting it and having a chat about the the upcoming events, then the more we can get behind it. Yeah. So I've heard this phrase 2020 thrown around. I'm a bit of a sports fan, and 2020 to me is a form of cricket. So I don't know much about this 2020 format. So can you just explain to me the 2020, the event, what the 2020 format is, and a little bit more about that?
Right. I need to note to self it's got a link to cricket, because I know nothing about cricket. Anywho, so last year we did a 10-10 event where essentially we had 10 employers, 10 young people and 10 mentors, hence the 10-10 event. So we wanted to scale it up a bit this year. So we've got 2020 event. So we've got 20 employers, 20 mentors, but we're having 40 young people this year because we're really keen to help as many young people. So each mentor gets 2 young people to help round 3 minutes with each employer. So it is speed networking, it has to be targeted. Paul Murray, fantastic time caller, he keeps everyone on track. And yeah, so that's hence the 2020, 20 mentors, 20 employers, and 40 young people to have an amazing afternoon, hopefully.
Lovely. So the aim of that then is to say have a mentor with a couple of young individuals.
Yep.
And in terms of the 3 minutes that they spend with an employer, what are they looking to sort of achieve in that 3 minutes? Is there like a set agenda, or is it just an opportunity maybe to practice some questions, skills for interview, or to maybe get some tips on speaking, or what's the sort of aim with the speed networking?
It's all of those things. Part of our reflection from last year is that we give this year we're giving the young people a bit of time at the beginning with their mentors,
right,
to put down some objectives for the time. So we had one amazing lady from Peel Ports last year, and she ended up doing quite a bit of coaching for some of the other people who didn't necessarily want to work for Peel Ports, but she was able to coach some of the young people around other skills.
Yeah.
And I think the employers have been amazing because they've raised awareness of the job, like the prison, for example. It's not all just prison warders, is it? There's the whole the whole community behind that, whole village that goes on behind that. So young people just to find out what different types of jobs there are in those industries. So it may be as simple as that, just getting the confidence to have a chat and ask some questions, right through to, I'd really like to work in the prison service. I'm doing uniform services training, so that would work for me. Great, I've now got contact. So whole range,
Yeah, so it's covers quite a lot by the sounds of it. But within that, there should be some opportunity for them to I suppose, get some contacts, understand what's out there, but also receive some support from the businesses that are mentoring. And I guess is the aim, maybe the businesses that are part of it, is the aim to try and get some youngsters actually through into maybe apprenticeship schemes or work experience, or even part-time, full-time employment? Is that the longer-term aim of these events?
Absolutely. I mean, the ultimate game is our aim is to get the young people into employment, yes, to raise awareness of apprenticeship. So we've got an apprenticeship expert there as well, so he can chat them through the process for that.
Brilliant.
And again, that's a bit of a, oh my goodness, I don't know where to start.
That's definitely something I think from a business perspective. I think it's quite a tough one when you I know I've looked at it for us in the past before we recruited last year, and you go onto that apprenticeship government website and it's a bit of a minefield. Trying to understand it. So that's brilliant. So there's actually specific support for that within the steering group. That's brilliant. So,
and I think the other thing as well, which I've really enjoyed speaking to different local employers, and they are so keen to support young people. I'm so proud of our island for that. I think what we're trying to do is sort of make that process really efficient, because what I'm finding is, a lot of these are small businesses. They haven't got the resource and the time to kind of fish through the system. Yeah. But what we can provide is a venue where they can find out about what young people's qualifications are, what their skills are, what their IT skills are, that actually we're a business that could really do with that. You young people know far more than we do, for example, so they would be ideal. So I think it's trying to the motivation and the enthusiasm is absolutely there from our local employers. That's how I've been so impressed with people that have done that. So we're trying to make that easy for them.
It's just taking those headaches away, isn't it? Because it's anything from trying to find the right people, where do you go, what skills, having the time to step away from your business to actually go and do that, and then you've then got to sort out your HR and everything like that. There's a lot to it, but it sounds as though you've got real engagement from the community, which is that's a massive step. But I think you're right. There's so much. I think there are loads of sort of businesses locally. I mean, I think you're kind of guilty maybe of, I know I certainly was when I first moved here. I was guilty of, it's just a bit, there's loads of housing estates here, it's not really massive. And then actually when you start going around different parts of the island, you realise how many different sort of types of industry are here, or different service industries or lots of trades and things like that. It's incredible the amount, even just in small areas like thinking of just Queenborough, or maybe thinking like Sheerness itself or industrial estates in Sheerness. You're thinking, wow, actually there is so much here. It's just you don't know until you explore. So it's brilliant. And I think for me as well, there's so much like history and so much to be proud of on this island.
Absolutely,
and I think you've got to take a step back sometimes with the youngsters, remind them of that, remind them of things like the first flight taking place down at at Eastchurch, and things like the first co-op and things like that, all from the island. It's crazy. We're not just this little island in the in the Thames estuary that's got a ship that's ready to blow up in the estuary. It's actually going back to the real positivity and I think sort of drawing strength from that, but maybe in a more modern way. And like you say, there's so many youngsters with skills, particularly technical skills like computer skills, IT literacy, that could support so many businesses. Social media is massive now for so many businesses, and I know our young recruit, she's 22, 23, she does all the stuff that I can't do. So there's definitely an opportunity there for them.
That's absolutely the case, isn't it? And I think that the entrepreneurial spirit on Sheppey is huge. Even as simple as, I drive off to work early in the morning, and the number of small businesses that I see driving off and onto the island is huge, because I think we do have that kind of entrepreneurial spirit, that people have this ability to recognise a need and this ability to find a way to meet that need in an amazing, intelligent way. And so again, the encouraging young people, there's help and support in terms of if they want to run their own business. And wonderfully last year, some of our mentors were launcheteers, so they had launched their own business, so they were young people as well, and they were mentoring the other young people, so they were really good examples of, yes, you can run your own business, it is possible, there's the help and support to do that, and you can be an entrepreneur, you can run your own business, you don't have to be reporting to anyone.
no, you just got to have the drive and the vision to do it. That's brilliant. So we've talked a lot about community, we've talked a lot about entrepreneurial spirit in Sheppey. How can the community, how can the people on the Isle of Sheppey help to support the Sheppey Employment Forum, help to support your event? What do you need from them?
So mentors, so people that will just come along for the afternoon. It is a pocket of time. There's no long-term commitment or anything. It is a pocket of time. So come along for sort of 3 hours that afternoon, 13th of November, Thursday afternoon. Come along. I'll give them a briefing beforehand so they know what to do, and just be there to support the young people. We've already got people from Minster Rotary signed up for that anyway, but I need more people for that. So if anyone wants to be a mentor, contact me for that. Similarly, we've got a number of employers already signed up, but some more would be good. So local employers to come along, so you get a stand, bring whatever you like to bring along to advertise your business. And also the advantages as well, we've put a patch of time at the end for networking. So whether it's mentors with mentors, employers, networking with other employers.
That's really important. That's a really sort of salient point, because I know from networking events, I've done these sort of networking events where it is shorter time frames, like you say, the 3 or 4 minutes, or you've got 5 minutes with someone, but you have a very brief conversation and you need to pick up with them afterwards, and get some contact details and stuff. So that's really important that you've got that built in, because I think that's where a lot of powerful and valuable conversations are going to be had, particularly if you've got young people that go, the light bulb goes on and I think, actually I could really do something with these guys, and that's where you're going to have those opportunities and those quality conversations.
Yes, definitely. And I think that was one of the bits we learned from last year as well, so we reflected on the last year's process and what can we do better. So who knows, next year it might be 30-30 or 40-40. You might need a bigger venue, isn't it?
we can dream. Definitely. The sky's the limit. So I suppose in terms of the event itself, so the 2020 event. So what's the date for that?
So it's the 13th of November. It's a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
So it is a pocket of time. We fit it in with the students' availability from school, so they can get home at a normal time, or college. And that is it. That is a pocket of time. Come along, do the event. There's the follow-up with the young people in terms of what objectives have you got, what follow-up do you need to. That's all done by their educational establishments. So it is a pocket of time for mentors and employers, so they know what they're committing to, basically. And of course there'll be photographs, and there'll be recognition, and rightly so. I don't think people particularly ask for that, but I think it's really important that they get that. And part of that as well is that we all then, the whole community, need to be speaking about good events like this and publicising it.
Spreading the word,
So this good stuff's going on Sheppey, and like I say, it has to start with us. We have to be spreading the good news about Sheppey, otherwise we can't expect other people to.
No, definitely, and certainly I think it's important that you have got the mentors and the businesses involved, but they can spread the news, like you say, share it within their network as well. So that's maybe something else that the wider community can do, share it with their network. And it's at the Island Works, isn't it, at the Dockyard Church?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful venue.
Beautiful venue. Free parking, good coffee. I'm encouraging people to come along here, but it's very good coffee. Fantastic. So I suppose, is there anything else that you would like to ask from the people of Sheppey to help support it, or is there anything that any sort of other community organisations can do to support it, anything like that?
I think because we're part of the Island Forum, so that works really well. So that's the kind of umbrella bit. And each objective has a sub-team, so we're one of those sub-teams. But I think we have so much creativity as well. We had a meeting yesterday, and already we've come up with another event idea for later on in the year. Because wonderfully we've got fire cadets coming to Sheppey. I'm so excited about this. I volunteer with Rochester Fire Cadets, and it is just an amazing. I've only just started, but I just love the fact that young people have gained confidence. And there was one lad, he went through the programme last year, Dan, and he stood up in front of us all and said how it helped his confidence. And it's something like that. It's just so fulfilling to be part of that. And really excitingly, Wayne has managed to secure some funding for fire cadets on Sheppey. So woohoo!
So we've got another sort of young community organisation coming to the island. Brilliant.
And there's obviously the fire service and the skills, and looking at how the fire service is structured. So young people that have done the first year can come back as crew manager equivalent. But all the young people, just to be able to learn those team building skills, those leadership skills.
It's really important, isn't it? Life skills and confidence as well. And like you say, it's not just necessarily the fire service. There's branch offs from that. You've got things like fire risk assessments and all
You're
different.
Back to my day job.
All different things that branch off. So there's some skills and some basic knowledge there, isn't there? And then potentially someone could go, do you know what? I'm quite interested in that, or actually I might be quite interested in buildings, estates management, that kind of thing, or even going down sort of into a property industry or trades. There's so much there which you say you just don't know until you get someone involved with one of these organisations. You don't know what skills you might unearth, or you might just flick a switch inside someone's head and it's just that's what I want to do, and then it's obviously helping to support and deliver that. So no, that's brilliant. Well, I think it's been really, really good to talk to you. I'm really pleased that this is going on locally, because I suppose I've adopted the island as my home, but I'm very proud of where I'm from. I really enjoy being part of the community here and supporting some of the local events and things like that, and being part of the Sheppey Business Network. And it's great to be able to see things like this going on. In a location that is meant for the community as well, the Island Works. So I'm really looking forward to the event, and I'm glad that I will be there on the 13th of November. But thank you so much for your time, Esther. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. It's been really good. Really
great chatting to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.